And so today, as I said, there are books that talk about Rasulullah how he prayed. And that's what we should follow. These are differences of scholars in their own era. Muslims who can be reached with knowledge today have no reason to be attached to those. But Muslims who have grown up in societies that are predominantly following this or this madhab, there is no issue with them following that madhab. And so, sister, don't confuse yourself. Just follow what is authentic, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Yes, and this is why when the scholars looked at all those versions, it is there, based on their knowledge, to assess which one is the most. And this is an example, but there are other examples in which the scholars have come to a conclusion that the report about doing it this way, yes, it has reached that scholars, but in fact, based on other information, there is more robust evidence that this way is better. And so that's what the scholars have adopted. So for you, sister, and for all of us, we have no reason to be in the midst of this, especially for the new Muslims. We have other things to think about, inshallah.
So the reason I wanted to introduce you really to the two ways in which Sajda Sahu is performed is that sometimes when you might be praying behind an imam, and it's important that you're familiar with both ways so that you don't get a surprise if the imam does Sajda Sahu, you know exactly what's happening. Because if you're only familiar with the one way and the imam does it a different way, then you won't know what's going on. So I'm going to just sit down here and actually firstly I'll do a refresher of what we say when we're in the sitting position, because we've covered that before, but I think it'd be nice to do a refresher, and I'll do it with the Sajda Sahu so that you can see how it's done both ways. Good. So this is the final rakat, okay, so you'll be in the sitting position. التحيات المباركات الصلوات الطيبات لله السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم إني أعوذ بك من عذاب القبر ومن عذاب جهنم وأعوذ بك من فتنة المسيح الدجال وأعوذ بك من فتنة المحيا والممات اللهم إني أعوذ بك من المحسن والمغرم اللهم إني ظلمت نفسي ظلما كثيرا ولا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت فاغفر لي مغفرة من عندك وارحمني إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده الله أكبر اللهم اغفر لي وارحمني واجبرني وارزقني واهدني وعافني الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Okay, so this is the one way of doing it. Okay, so this is how we do it in Shafi school and there's various other schools that we do it this way. And then the other way, التحيات المباركات الصلوات الطيبات لله السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Allahu Akbar. Subhana rabbil a'la wa bihamdi. Subhana rabbil a'la wa bihamdi. Subhana rabbil a'la wa bihamdi. Allahu Akbar. Allahumma ighfirli warhamni waghfirli warzuqni wahdini wa'afini. Allahu Akbar. Subhana rabbil a'la wa bihamdi. Subhana rabbil a'la wa bihamdi. Subhana rabbil a'la wa bihamdi. Allahu Akbar. At-tahiyyatu mubarakatu salawatu tayyibatu lillahi assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And then from there you continue all the way to the end, the durood, the dua, and then assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullah. Okay? So these are the two different ways that you might experience, particularly when you are... whenever you're following an imam, you always follow the imam. Okay, so whichever method he's doing, you follow the imam. So now let's talk a little bit about how, under what circumstances you're going to be doing the sajda sahwi. So let's say we talked about the situation where you might feel unsure. Okay, have I performed 3 rakats? Have I performed 4 rakats? Okay, so you're in your 3rd rakat. You're unsure. Is it 3? Is it 4? Okay. Now, if you have equal doubt, okay, you're really not sure. It could be 3. It could be 4. I really don't know which it is. Okay, you're really unsure. Okay, so in that situation, what you do is you're sure you've performed at least 3. Okay, that's what you're sure of. Okay, so you assume you've performed 3. Okay, you perform an extra one, and then you perform the sajda sahwi. Okay, so in that situation, you might have performed 4. Let's say it's Salatul Asr. Let me start again. You're praying Salatul Asr. Okay, you're in the 3rd rakat. You think you're in the 3rd rakat, but it could be the 4th rakat. You're not sure whether you're in the 3rd rakat or the 4th rakat. Okay, in that situation, you've got an equal doubt. I could be in the 3rd rakat, I could be in the 4th rakat. I'm really not sure. Okay, so what you do is you're certain you're at least in the 3rd rakat. Okay, so you complete that rakat and you do one more. So the net result is, because of your uncertainty, you're either going to be offering 4 or 5. Okay, because of your uncertainty. This is Salatul Asr. And then you perform the sajda sahwi. If you're in a situation where you've got a slight doubt, but you really think you really think you've done 4 rakat and it's not your 3rd rakat, okay? Then you take that situation, you assume you're in your 4th rakat, and you can offer the sajda sahwi. Okay, so whenever you've got a doubt, okay, you offer the sajda sahwi. And if the doubt is equal weighting, you're really not sure whether it is 3 or 4, then you assume it's 3. Or if you're really not sure it's 2 or 3, you assume it's 2. Okay, so if the doubt is equal, you go with the lesser. Okay, if you're really pretty sure you've done 4, okay, but maybe I'm not 100% sure, but you're really more inclined, I really think I've done 4, but I'm not 100% sure, then you assume you've done 4. Okay, so the sajda sahwi is offered in this situation where you've got the doubt, you lean towards what you are more sure of. Okay, and if the level of uncertainty is equal, then you lean to the side of caution, and you go with what you're sure you've definitely done.